Hi, it's Tuesday. I've been reading your submissions. They look great so far. And I am going to offer this wisdom. It's about failure because a lot of you are writing, what are your fears? My fears of failure. And you looked at that TED Talk, Olympia LaPointe, and she's talking about how she overcame her fears. And one of you wrote about how they were struck by the reptilian brain takes over and you can't think straight, kind of like maybe stage fright. When you think you failed or done something badly, you kind of freeze up. So I just want to say in advance, when we're doing this back and forth, you submit something, I want to give you credit as long as it looks like you've read the instructions. But when let's just say the instructions say, don't do X, Y, and Z, and you do a couple of the X, Y's, and Z's. That's a mistake. It's not a failure, but that's exactly how you learn. It's a try, mistake, learn, try, mistake, learn. And you could call it a failure, but if you want to call it a failure, I've had a million failures and then I patch myself up and learn up to the next level. That's really the only way you can learn something. And so even if I don't see the failures, if you've revised it along the way, that's all writing is. It's these little failures and these little improvements along the way. So it's real important that you read the comments, that you look at them and try not to get your feelings hurt and just go, oh, okay, that's how I get going. So there's an article I want you to jump ahead to if you have time called Brainology. It's in the reading list. You'll have an assignment about it later on. But it's right in keeping with this, where there's Carol Dweck is a social scientist. She studies how people learn and what are the features of people who persist and succeed in learning environments. And they happen to be people who don't view failure as the end of the world. They go, all right, I guess I'm going to have to. And you kind of see Olympia LaPointe doing that, well, okay. And all the most successful people, fail all the time. I love listening to biographies and, I like actors and movies and films. And I listen to a lot of, actors, famous people tell their stories. And it's just riddled with failures from which they regrouped and learned valuable things and moved on. So when we go back and forth in writing, just think of it as the process. It's learning something new is like circular. Even if you get like in math, a problem's wrong, you just do it again. And then you say, okay. And then it is more firmly in your mind once you've corrected a mistake. So mistakes are not the enemy. Failure is not the enemy. Fear is the enemy. Shutting down the frontal lobe is the enemy. All right. So I'm also recommending people, some people go to the tutor if there's like sentence level mistakes, failures, issues, whatever we want to call them. It's just a reiterative process in which you have to go around and around correcting and fixing. And that's how you get to be a better writer overall, which is actually the goal of this course. But I understand your goal may be to pass. So that's fine too. And maybe you'll get a little something along the way. But if you don't want me to comment on your work, if you feel like that you get too like wound up when that happens, I can just give you a grade. But like I said, on these assignments that are worth 10 points, I'm really trying to give you all 10 points for following the directions, even if it's a little patchy as far as if it was in an essay. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just a chance to try, get some feedback. Okay, that's my lecture for today. All right, also, remember, there's two parts to the summary exercise. You have to write down tips. I need to see that you've absorbed or at least tried to understand some of the MLA, Modern Language Association, how you have to introduce things and, put them in academic writing. There's two documents you can choose from. Just put two tips that you're going to try to remember. And then the other thing is respond to a classmate on the discussion. Okay, that's it for today. So remember, failure, fun with failure. Don't say F failure. Say, well, yeah, but say fun failure, fun with failure. The mayhem of mistakes. It's all pointing in an upward direction. Okay. Before I really start going on and on, just get your work done and let me know if you don't want me to comment on your work. That's fine. And if you do want to kind of see what's happening, just make sure you go to those comments. Okay, good luck.